All right. Say hey, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Joining me here very soon will be my guy, Mikey Money. It's nice to see everyone bright and early on a Sunday morning. Good day for baseball. 14-game slate. Excited to watch everything unfold here today. Good series. And we have Mikey Money, like I said, joining us here very shortly. And so that'll be very exciting nonetheless. Let's shout you guys out in the chat. Those who come early, we appreciate you guys. Those who are members, we appreciate you even more. Go to the Pub Sports Radio website right now. Go support us in whatever way you can, whether that be a t-shirt, whether that be just becoming a member of the YouTube channel, whether that be joining us in our competitions weekly. We just had the UFC competition last night. It was a good time, or I should say yesterday morning, because it was a 12 p.m. card, but that was always a good time. It was a fun one. I actually got some picks right, which is cool. But yeah, it's a good time nonetheless to support Pub Sports Radio in any way you can. All right, let's get after it here. I'm excited to break down these cards. Cannot wait. Shout out to you guys. Top set, Man Bear Pig, Justin McKelvey. Stacks play today. God damn you, Rafael Devers. That was annoying. Sorry, Justin. That sucked. But we're back here with Mountcastle over 1.5 bases plus 106. Shout out to you, Joey Harb, in here as well. Damon Hamilton in the chat. Shout out to you, Damon Santori, Professor Chris, Rocco Rogers. Oh, Constantino. It's a nice name there. Let's make some bills, y'all. Doug, hello, my guy. Doug, you Mexico looked like shit yesterday, Doug. So I'm glad that you cashed there. Slatsy in here, Stir and Co. Tori Coker, shout out to you, my guy. Big game for you on Monday. Excited to see how all of that works out. Scunt Blaster giving the Hawk Tui play of the day. Mets, Moneyline, Vancouver, and the Astros. Shout out to Hawk Tui, who's become I guess the internet sensation, which has been very interesting. We've got our guy Nate Dogg, Jason Torres, Professor Chris, Abel A. Sternco saying this is a shit jersey. Well, I know someone who will like this jersey. Well, let's bring him on now. I'm interested to see how he's going to go here. Let's bring him on, my guy and yours. Unlike for his show, he has an intro here. It's Mikey Money.
I'll you $10 if you want to park.
Do it.
But Jose, how much?
Yeah.
Hello, Mikey. How's it going?
Fan-fucking-tastic, Jose. I appreciate that. The cameras are always on when you're at Pubblepalooza.
Yes, they are. And you know, it's a great intro, I think. You know, me personally. So
I mean, you know, it's some of your better work, but it's not your finer work. I want to see, how did it go? Did you get the opportunity to?
No, Dabby. Dabby lives out in the fucking boonies, so his Wi-Fi was down, and he didn't even join me yesterday. So that still has not come out yet. That's still just in the chamber.
I was ready to go early, but you know the UFC started early yesterday, so I had to bounce out of there, and I was eager to see it, but I wasn't sure if he was going to show up or not. So it sounds like we still have some exciting new content to release with Pub Sports Radio.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we end up on one of those plays. Maybe we'll bring it out today here and debut it. Who knows? But it's nice to see everyone in the chat. Shout out to you, Morgan Spooner, Brahma B, and Ricky Bobby. I have not sent that video to Dabby yet. I do need to do that. Doug, congratulating me on Venezuela's performance. Thank you, Doug. It was very nice to lose my Venezuela-Ecuador draw bet because Venezuela came in there and whop, whop, whop. You know, had to give Ecuador a taste of their own medicine.
I don't know if it was whop, whop, whop. I mean, take your time out here. There was a red card, so Ecuador goes down.
Guy kicked
then-
him in the chest. What do you want
then-
from me, Mike?
Then Ecuador scores. I mean, you're up a man. How do you let him score unless you're
Yeah,
the
that
Florida
was
Panthers?
intensely annoying. Yeah.
The only team that lets him score when they're up a man like that is the Florida Panthers against them Edmonton Oilers. So now you got an odd man advantage. Now you're down, much like Florida has been throughout these playoff series. And they came back and they went bang, bang to finish it off. But it was sweaty, Jose. It wasn't
I
it was
never
automatic.
a doubt. We just needed, our good manager, who I obviously know the name of, to get the boys going at halftime. He got the boys together and say, "Hey, motherfuckers, we're up one guy. Fucking press these bitches," and we got him. It was great. It was good. It was a good time. I enjoyed that. Fernando, I told you, Fernando. I warned you, Fernando. Oh man, it's gonna be a fun thing. So yeah, shout out to you guys. And Mikey, I'm sure you saw I have 2 Venezuela to win that group bets now in play at 5 plus 500 and plus 550. One I made with my local, and then I couldn't make it with my local for a long time. So before I made it with my father, Jimmy.
That was the plus 550 that you offered him, right? That
yeah.
He wasn't sure if he was going to book it or not.
And then he did. Of course, he didn't send it in. He congratulated me on my first win. But now that game against Mexico is going to be very, very interesting. So I cannot wait.
Mexico hasn't been who they are, though. They
no, I've been trying to tell people they suck dick and balls.
Yeah, from the back. From the backside.
Yeah, I the fun part about this game is I'm going to be listening to the game, and I listen to games in Spanish because it sounds better. My brother-in-law is going to be calling the game, so I actually need to text him now and just start sending him gifts of Venezuelans doing random things. So I need to do that. But yeah, let's get after it. We have a almost full baseball card. We have an interesting hockey game that I'm going to ask your opinion of, because we have a game 7 here shortly. And I know what your opinion is. I just want to get you going here, but we'll do that at the end. And I cannot wait. And obviously, Mikey, I've told you this many times, and I'm wearing the jersey now, but once Monday comes, I will be rooting for the Panthers. I will be rooting for the Panthers.
That's the right play, but we'll talk about that. We got some soccer we're talking about here. We got baseball wedged in the middle of the day. We got hockey for tomorrow. It's going to be an epic game 7. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And Jose, you didn't ask, but I will volunteer. I stomped the shit out of the UFC like it owed me some money. I slapped it forwards. I slapped it backhanded. I put the powder on the hand. I pimp slapped. I did everything else and then some to it, man. What a tremendous card yesterday, Jose. I made a lot of money. Then things were running so hot at the end of it. We got to the point I said, all right, here's the 2 baseball plays I like for later on after the stream's over. And those 2 plays hit. So let's fucking go, Jose. I'm ready to rock, man.
All right, good. Well, I need that winning to come over to my side here, Mikey. So let me get some of those wins on my side here as well. So let's start off by talking your Philadelphia Phillies, dude. Christopher Sanchez extension. Shout out to Christopher Sanchez. Slade Ciccone really pitched well last time out. Fucked me in the face. I remember actually quite well. Shout out to Sharpie, who always preaches that if Christopher Sanchez is at home, bet is over outs, because they soak that infield, make it nice and wet and thick for him, and make the ground balls die. We've heard Sharpie preach that a lot, so shout out to him. I lean that way. I didn't have any action on this game. Let's talk about the market here first, because minus 240s are pretty tough to bet, in my opinion. 92% of the bets and 82% of the money on the Philadelphia Phillies, dude. And the total, do you like my Philly accent?
I was gonna say it's not a California surf city. It's a fucking it's the home of America, Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. 84% of the bets, 74% of the money on the over here. And interestingly enough, let me refresh the site, my odd site, because I did not get to do much of this morning. It opened up at a 9.5 minus 115. It's gone up about 5 cents. Heritage is already showing a 10, interestingly enough. But I don't want to move on this game here, Mikey, yet. I want to hear what you have to say. And obviously, chat, let us know what you guys are on. as well. So, Mikey, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not going to let some early morning action slide by without getting an opportunity to take a crack at it here. This is the age-old adage, which book are you using for the opening line? I don't want a handicap line. I want the initial line that hits the street, and I saw 10.5 when it comes to the total. Yeah, it's a big number to lay for Philadelphia. The thing that you got when you look at, Sanchez versus Ciccone here, he's sporting a 5.9 ERA. Ciccone is there at a 2-5, right? Sucks early, and he gets his team so far behind that they can't catch back up. So I totally can support that. You look at this guy and you see a minus 250 and you think, well, maybe that's warranted. This being the case, though, how about when you dig deeper into the numbers? We see Sanchez 2.91 ERA. He's doing what he does. That Phillies bullpen or that Phillies lineup started off so damn hot. Everybody was like sub 2. They're probably going to be due for some regression. Is it going to be against Arizona? This is that proverbial early start, the body clock factor that goes into it. And, we look at Ciccone. Sucks at home. Sucks it all from behind and everything else. Jose, 13 ERA. But when he gets out of Arizona, when he gets on the road, he's got himself a 3 ERA kicking out there, just a little bit over. So his number, you have to kind of dig deeper to see where is that number leaking, and it must just be the nerves of pitching under the home lights and the home fans here. Just got torn up yesterday, 12-1, not scoring. Well, here we go, batting and clusters and not scoring. The lean that I have for this one, the play is the full game under 10. There's 10s out there. This line opened at 10.5. Now we see some 10s. The first 5 at 5.5. I went 1 unit on the 5.5, 2 units on the 10 on unders on both sides of those, and we'll count them 1 units a piece. Give me the under 5.5 for the first 5 and the full game under 10. I was tempted to take Arizona -1. I'm sorry, Philadelphia -1.5 and the under 10 in a same game parlay. Wasn't quite where I wanted the numbers to be though. I think it came out to. Let me see what that came out to. Came out to plus 244. I thought if I'm going to take the home team at the -1.5, that needed to be like a 280 or 290. So I ultimately stayed off of that. But first 5 under 5.5, full game under 10, 5.5 at -115, 10 at -115 as well.
Okay, beautiful. I'm going to make a play on this game, but there's only a few days left in June, so there's only a few days you can make this bet. Kyle Schwarber home run. Winds blowing straight out. Shout out to Panger Life for reminding me of it. I saw Morgan Spooner is all across the board with Harper and Schwarber as well. Winds blowing straight out. It's a disgustingly low price, but I'm taking it still. Home run plus 140 for our friend Kyle Schwarber there. But, there's got to be some runs here, Mikey. Hopefully not 10. How about 4 combined?
I'll go with that. A grand slam for your boy, and then everybody else shuts down.
I'll take a first innings solo home run too. That'll be fine. I'll also work with that as well.
I'll tell you what, I found that the hitting props are so much more enjoyable when you just get him in the first or second inning.
Yeah. And I'm 0 for my last 2 on my hitting, and I think 0 for my last 3 hitting props now. So it's been a little annoying. Now. But whatever, it's fine. Devers only singled yesterday. Juan Soto only singled yesterday. But the annoying part about Juan Soto, we talked about his numbers against Charlie Morton. And I said, he's got like 11 plate appearances, but he has like 14 at bats and he's walked like 5 times. And I was like, I would just hopefully he doesn't walk that many times. 3-walk game. Fucking disgusting.
Of course.
And he hit a single too. And I was like, all right, whatever. Shit luck. I'm going to keep rolling, but we'll see what happens. Yankees dominate yesterday, so this is going to be a nice, split here. Who gets to win this last game wins the series. I think it'll be a little bit of an intense, game. Mike, you think this game will be a little more focused from the lads here? And I obviously believe in Max Fried. Nestor Cortez, I faded this year, and sometimes he'll come through and suck, and then I'll fade him like I did last time. And he'll just shove it up my ass. So I struggle a little bit with Nestor, honestly. And it's been interesting to see how he's progressed through this season. And he wants to keep that fucking job in the rotation. And I know he knows that that shit matters. The other thing that is huge with Nestor, home 1.57 ERA, road 5.57. ERA, Nestor Cortez. So looks like I won't be fading him here at home. And I lean under here, Mikey. So let's talk about the market here and see if that market gets me towards an under. 65% of the bets, 79% of the money on Los New York Yankees here. Has opened up at BetOnline at minus 109 for the Yankees, settling in at like minus 110. Got up to minus 112 at one point. So semi-interesting. No movement on the Yankees. On the total here, wow, 95% of the bets and money on the over in this game. We opened up at an 8.5, and BetOnline is now 8.5, minus 120 from minus 110. Heritage showing a 9, juice to the under. Mikey, what do you think about this game? Did you lean under?
Well, geographically, where I'm situated here, there's two divisions that I get down with here: the AL East and the NL East. For those that don't know, surprisingly, despite what Jimmy the Bag might think, I am a Toronto backer. I am an AL East Toronto guy. I just don't like Kevin Gausman. Also, I'm a big fan of Jose Barrios when he's between minus 120 and plus 120. On the fade, when he's on the road, we got that double cash yesterday. And the NL East, there's no question. Come on, you already know where I roll with the NL East. That being said, though, as I kick this thing off, what I've noticed this year, the AL East, after they beat the NL East team, the AL East seems to be the stronger team. In fact, when you look at this one here, one of the biggest numbers, one of the biggest identifiers I have for today's opportunities here is the hammer. Hammer. Get it out. Treat it like the fucking Atlanta Braves are a nail and just start pounding away on the damn thing. One of them giant railroad spikes, because when the NL East team has lost against the AL East team, the next time that they play, if it's within the same series, they are getting busted up. In fact, the fade, you focus on the AL East, 145 and 88, 7-3 in its last 10. All you need to know, when the AL East beats an NL East team and they go back at it again, we're getting ourselves a cheap-ass deal. Now, the flip side of that, one of the most profitable pitchers in Major League Baseball is, of course, Max Fried. But the big caveat, the big benefit that we've got going for us right now is there are multiple 110s, the best number I could find out there. The best place that's the best number is not held on to by FanDuel, Jose. When I see FanDuel with the best number out there, I take a big L. That being said, FanDuel does not have the best number. We've got the AL East, who just beat the NL East. We were on the Yankees yesterday, despite everybody hitting on that Atlanta Braves team. Fuck them. Let's take this NL East spot here. Give me the Yankees. Give me minus 110. This is one of my favorite spots. Nestor Cortez pitches better at home as well. I think it's a great spot. Wouldn't be surprised about this under, but I'm all over this Yankees team.
Okay.
What do you think about that? The NL East loses to the AL East, and then they play the next day. The AL East wins. What do you think about that?
I think the AL East is a better, division. Top to bottom, I think we're better. I think the Phillies and Braves are obviously good, but the Yankees and Orioles are the two best teams in the American League.
Look who made the chat. Look who's in the chat.
Oh, Dabby, I guess we could show it now, Dabby.
New graphic alert. New breaking news. New graphic alert.
Dabby, I was going to show this to you yesterday in person, so you could have seen this, but unfortunately, your internet and all that stuff happened, so that sucks. But
do you want to save it till he comes on, or do you want to show it to him now and get him?
No, I want to show it to him now. I want to rip the Band-Aid off. I've had it in the holster for too long now.
Some of Jose's finest work. Let's introduce this properly. Jose has done. He's a man of many talents. He's been all over the place when it comes to Johnny on the spot. We saw him at Pubblepalooza. Running shop. He comes out there, and speaking of Photoshop, he runs that shit like an athlete. That being said, this is probably his Michelangelo. This is probably his Sistine Chapel. Jose Bouquett.
Yeah, no, Mikey gave me the idea. I thought it was a funny idea. And I thought this was just going to be a good intro for Dabby Cab. So and I said that we don't even have an intro for Dabby. And I said, well, how do we not have one for Dabby? We have to have one for Dabby. And I just thought this, I thought you said it. And I thought, you know what? This fits. This fits. That took so fucking long to make for just like a 15-second joke. It took so long. But shout out to you, Dabby Cab. We have that forever now. I appreciate you as always, Dabby. But that's a good intro. I enjoy that. All right. So Mikey,
tell me
you
that's
like
not some of Jose Bouquet's finest work. You guys know it. You love it. That was fantastic.
yeah, and Dabby will tell us he's 17 and 2 or whatever on the Phillies. He's dominated the Phillies and 7-1 on your Don bets. Oh, we know it. So
Look at Steve G's
dominate.
comments. The waffle of fortune. That's
The
great
waffle
too.
of fortune.
Nice.
Yeah, and yes, I do remind myself, and Dabby might have dipped out, and might not have seen that yet, but I do remind myself that I am probably staying at Dabby's house in a few weeks, so he might kick my ass, yeah, but it's okay. I still love the guy. So you are on those Yankees here. The line is moving in that direction, so
Yes, sir.
kudos. I like the under. I think I will put my balls where my mouth is, and I will take the first 5 under 4.5 minus 110 there.
I like it. I like the under. I could see that. I could see that under as well. I think this is a good spot here. This is a good pitching duel, and the Yankees ultimately prevail. Going to be a good game.
Okay. All right. Let's keep it rolling here. Oh, boy.
Look,
I'm already nervous about that.
Diaper Constantino gets the joke now. He gets the joke now. Those are 4 of Dabby's bets.
Constantino, welcome to the show, buddy.
Shout out to everybody, guys, in that chat. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button here. We're going to have some fun on a Sunday. We just gave you guys a fired off series of bets already. We're only 2 games deep. Stay tuned and get ready. Let's go.
2 games deep, and I already have 2 bets, and I told myself low volume today. Well, speaking of low volume, I'm not moving on this game. I've lost too much money betting on Paul Skeens starts, whether I'm betting unders, overs. I keep losing on him. He's minus 170 now, which just seems so nuts to me, but he's been the real deal. So I've been off this game. I respect Paul Skeens enough to not fade him here, and Savali has just not been the same guy, unfortunately. So market real quick, 84% of the bets and money on Los Pirates here, and 96% of the bets and 89% of the money on the over in this game. This opened up at minus 142 for Paul Skeens and has skyrocketed up to the minus 170 you see now, which is crazy. And this went from an 8 juice to the over to now we're seeing 7.5s across the board here. So all that money on the over and it's still going under. I lean under with them, but no action for me. I've lost too many totals in those games. So what do you think here?
Well, Jose, in theory, this line opened at 8.5 and it has moved to 7.5. So you know what the situation looks like when we see some of those spots there. They're almost auto plays on the other side, but look,
where are you seeing the 8.5? I have 8 juice to the over, obviously. So you could tell me that's an 8.5.
It was DraftKings that opened up at 8.5 at some point last night. So
yeah, it's my least favorite trend to bet, Mikey. I've said it all the time, but it's hit like every time I bet it.
Yeah, you talked about that the other day, and you cashed it. Was it Baltimore and the Yankees? That thing was
easy. And it cashed easy. It was easy. I fucking
7.5.
hate it, Mikey. I hate betting it, but it cashes. So
we'll have to keep our eyes on how that affects this game because Skeens. Obviously, you guys know the deal here, and it's Skeens Day, and it's becoming a national fucking holiday, and whatever, and this and that. His girlfriend's smoking hot, this and that. We know all that stuff, right? Now we got some tape on this guy. Now we got some data on him. He's rolling a 2.29 ERA, a 9.9 WHIP through his first 7 starts. Pretty phenomenal out there, clearly, and bolstering almost a 35% strikeout rate. Pretty amazing stuff out there. Only a 4.5% walk rate. So. Look, as much as I want to kind of fade the hype train, I'm not an idiot. I look at this thing on the other side of things. I look at this and I see Aaron Savale. What's Aaron Savale do out there? This guy's a bag of dust. 5.42 ERA, 1.39 WHIP this season. But most recently, and I like to look at the micro, not the macro of what's going on with these guys. What have they been doing their last couple of starts? Unfortunately, I got a full sample of 6 to work with. Guy's let up 4 more runs in 3 of 6 starts as well. And his numbers against righties, they're not so great. I do think in terms of tomorrow's game, we know after Skeens, the Pirates lose. I don't know why. I don't know if they just put all their effort into the game. Maybe it's because Livy Dunn brings a whole bunch of them alumni gymnasts to the games, and all the guys get excited and they want to play their best. I don't know. Or maybe everybody wants to pretend they're boys with Skeens so that Livy Dunn hooks him up with one of them LSU gymnasts. But when it comes down to it, the bats do fire for Paul Skeens. The -0.5 in the first 5 is the spot that I got to jump into, knowing that Savali's been leaking runs, knowing these boys play well against Skeens. They're averaging 7.3 runs a game in his outings. I think this is a great opportunity. First 5 only, lay the half a run. It's sitting out there right now at -120. So first 5, Pittsburgh, -0.5, -120. Once again, passes the FanDuel check. They do not have the best number.
What was that again? Sorry, you had Pittsburgh first 5? Excuse me?
Yep, -0.5,
Okay.
-120.
Yeah, I'm staying off this game. I will not be betting the over.
Look at Justin McKelvey, 1-6 after Skeens starts. You guys, you heard it here. You heard it on Betting with Bouquett.
Yeah, shout out to you, Justin McKelvey. No, Bailey Falter. He's not very good, it turns out. Who would have thought? Yeah. Who would have thought? By the way, I texted Dabby Cab. I let him know that we had me and you made an intro video for him because I don't think he saw it. I think he just said, "What up, oldie?" and then just closed.
You know how I know he didn't see it. He hasn't said anything in the chat yet.
Yeah. I expect to fuck you guys. But I let him know.
When I fucking bet on a Sunday.
I'm gonna text him the video as well, so he can see it. But I thought it was a great video. It was a great video. Speaking of great videos, let's talk about a fucking fantastic pitching matchup here. The Can Man Jonathan Cannon versus 1-8 Reese Olson. And Jonathan Cannon might have a fan in me, Mikey Money. My guy, he might have a supporter in me because I backed him 8 2/3, 7 hit, no earned runs against Houston. He was my guy last time out. He backed that performance up before with a 7-run, 4-inning, 1 earned run performance against Seattle. Is he hot? He might be hot right now, Mikey. Do we ride the hot hand? On the other side, Reese Olson, we've seen kind of all year be pretty good, and then his numbers would just, or I guess the offense behind it would not reflect it. He hit a rough patch with giving up 5 earned runs, 8 earned runs, and then 5 runs, 4 of them earned, and then he finally got back to his form that we liked him for earlier in the season with a 6 shutout inning performance against the Braves, 8 Ks, no walks in that start too. So this was actually a sneaky under I liked in this game with both these pitchers. Both these offenses are obviously very bad as well. The line in this game is crazy as well, by the way. Almost -200 for the Tigers here. I thought was nuts. We've got an 88% of the bets and 92% of the money on the Tigers. On the total here we have, where are you, Tigers? Pretty split. 51% of the bets, 46% of the money on the over in this game. Total started at an 8.5 -110. Now is being juiced to the under and going down to 8s. So I think I will be moving on an under in this game. Perhaps first 5. Let's look at that specifically here. This one opened up 4.5 -117 on Bet Online. Now it is 4.5 -113. So I will be moving on another first 5 under in this game, Mikey Money. And by the way, for you money line bettors out there, opened up at 166 for the Tigers and just has soared up. That seems crazy to me. Mikey, what do you think?
I think this is one of those tricky spots where you have to look at these two pitchers and just evaluate what the hell are you doing with life here if you're thinking about laying this number with the Detroit Tigers. Reese Olson, you see his numbers, and then you look at these two guys, and if you didn't see the names, if you didn't see, we know the White Sox. We know their first 5 winners. They choke full games. Not yesterday, however, and the reason they didn't choke yesterday is because, again, we talk about bats hitting in clusters. The Tigers' bats aren't doing shit. That being said, when you think about this and you say, well, the White Sox don't hit Reese Olson. I saw that comment in the chat. Well, nobody's seen Jonathan Cannon on the other side either. So there's no reason to suspect that this game goes over. In fact, one of the most over significant trends across Major League Baseball are White Sox unders when they're playing against divisional opponents. When they play against AL Central opportunities, 28-8-2 to the under 8.5 in that spot out there. Currently 7 of its last 10 that have hit. White Sox daytime unders when they're playing divisional opponents. Huge sample size there. Quite a bit of opportunity behind it. 256, 187, and 22. Also won 7 of its last 10. So kind of throwing your thumb into the face of your opponent here and saying, well, this looks like it's an over on the surface because Reese Olson's bad, but Jonathan Cannon. It's a tricky spot for me. I'm going to jump in on this under. I'm taking the full game under 8.5. The only reason I'm taking the full game under 8.5, you know what? I've got to reevaluate this too as I look at this full term. We've seen 6 of the last 6 games have gone under for Detroit. 5 of the last 5 games have gone under for the White Sox. But I want this White Sox opportunity right now. I took them yesterday. I gave them out publicly. Not only did we beat the shit out of the UFC, we destroyed the Major League Baseball board as well. And part of that process, we take risk and reward opportunities here. Plus 145 on the first 5 for the White Sox. Great opportunity. You want to be safe? The plus a half's out there. Okay, but you're just killing yourself at an ROI. Take the push if you have to, because I'm also jumping in on the full game, and I'm taking that full game. I got a number at plus 166. So 166, 145, and then the under 8.5. It's a trifecta spot for me here with this game. This is where the majority of my chips are stacked for this afternoon because there's just too much opportunity on the back of it. Oh, look what we got. The Dabby Cab special.
Yeah, shout out to Dabby Cab. Is it on the wheel? Brewers, Padres, first 5 over for Dabby Cab. Play the day for Dabby Cab. Shout out to you there. Not on the wheel. I will be very excited for that first Padres team total over or like whatever it might be, your Don Day, Corey Seager. When that happens, it's gonna make me smile. I will admit. So, but shout out to you, Dabby Cab. Yeah, I think Sancho is right. That is the best intro right there. Now
I said it's the Sistine Chapel. It's the Mona Lisa when it comes to these graphics.
It's really good. All right. I'm going to double up on the unders. First 5 full game. Full game minus 122, 8.5. First 5 minus 117. By the way, shout out to Birdie. I saw Birdie pop his head into a baseball chat. Shout out to you, Birdman. Nice to see you, my guy. Fucking prettiest man in the chat right there, Mr. Birdie Betts. Shout out to you, Birdie. Red Sox, Reds here. And again, Mikey, I want to bet the Red Sox again, but here's the thing. I cannot do it against left-handed starters. That just should be my hard and fast rule about betting this Red Sox team. I bet against I bet on them with Andrew Abbott on the bump. He pitched well. They got the win. I mean, Nick Lodolo's even better. So I understand why we're seeing a minus almost 160 for them. I think this is going to be a lower scoring ball game as well because we've got Red Sox bullpen day here. I'm pretty sure they are off tomorrow as well. If someone could double check me on that, I'd appreciate that. But I'm pretty sure they're off tomorrow. Everyone in the bullpen should be available. Everyone has thrown, but it is not. They're not numbers that are inflated, I guess. So like Chris Martin has thrown the most, and he threw 22 pitches yesterday. So he might not go, but everyone else, Kenley should go. And so I expect this to be an interesting game, and I think this will be a lower scoring game. So another under that I'm admittedly interested in. Let's start with the total market in this. 66% of the bets and 66% of the money on the under. That is rare for what under, I guess, bets have been recently. This went from a 9.5 juice to an under, and you're starting to see some 9s here as well. Let's do another peek. Well, if I'm going to take the under here, I guess I would take full game instead of first 5. So that is interesting. Sidewise for the money line bets, 81% of the bets and only 68% of the money on the Reds. So slight, big bets on the Red Sox, but still overwhelming Reds favoritism there. And this opened up at minus 155 and has not moved at Bet Online up to minus 156. So Red Sox, for me, if I had to make a side bet, but I'm going to move on the full game under here, Mikey. Under Palooza for me, I guess, today.
This has got the makings to be a shit game. It really does.
Yeah, I hope it is.
But what's the wind doing in this game? Is it fucking howling? I mean, we got a hitter's ballpark.
Is it fucking howling, dude? The wind in this game, we've got 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left field, kind of blowing more towards the foul line, which is, I guess, advantageous here in this situation. If it definitely straightened out, it'd be a worry. But I'm not worried about the wind, dude. So
yeah, Red Sox on the road.
I'm pretty good with that Philly accent. You have to admit that Philly accent's on point.
I'm not from Philly. I grew up in New York.
I know. Well, Mikey, come on. You count though.
Red Sox on the road against interleague opponents are 56-26 over that giant sample size. Road dogs in interleague spots after the win. The better team does prevail, 56-42 as well. The problem I have here, I really wanted to get involved with the Fraley RBI. I thought this spot lined up really well for this guy, especially knowing that there's going to be, fluid pieces going on there when it comes to this, pitching order, if you will. But he's not in the lineup. So I don't know what they're doing. They're dicking around. Jonathan India's been hurt. His Zach Kelly appearances, he's seen one at-bat against Zach Kelly and hasn't gotten the job done. Ellie De La Cruz, the stolen base wizard's been slowing down as well. On the other side of things, we look at what's going on with Boston, and nobody's been really seeing Nick Lodolo too well. Rafael, your boy, inconsistent, in and out of the lineup. The whole
Devers, as you say.
Devers? What is it, Devers?
Yeah, it's Devers. Rafael Devers.
Because he's been on the shit list and he's been on the IL as well. I would lean to the Red Sox in this game, despite it being bullpen. The thing about the Reds is you don't have enough continuity in what's going on with this, hitting staff. You got guys moving all over the order. Tyler Stevenson's in the top of the order. He's in the bottom of the order. Now he's smack in the middle. I like their hitters. I just don't see that they're the ability to get it done. When I see Ellie De La Cruz in that second spot and then Candelario in the third, that to me tells me that they're trying to get Ellie to get on base so they can bunt his ass over to scoring position. And they want Spencer Steer to get in there, which to me does feel like it's a lower opportunity as well. They're going to waste a lot of outs just trying to grind in some W's. And I don't want to be involved in a spot like that. So I would lean Boston or nothing, but there's no official play for me. What I will do is this. I'll be watching my book. Whatever way this line moves about 5 minutes before first pitch might be the direction that I drop some cash on. So if it goes from a plus 140 to a plus 138, that would suggest a Boston play and vice versa if it goes the other way.
Yeah. I'm going to keep rolling with it. I know their numbers against lefties are good recently, JPZ, but I still don't believe. It is nice when you've got righties like Tyler O'Neill and Connor Wong hitting, though. So I really think that O'Neill decides the fate of the Red Sox against lefties. If he has a good game, then the Red Sox typically win. If he goes over, they'll probably lose. So under for me in this game, but it's going to be interesting to see. Kong, I did see that Jaylen Brown lost his ring. I thought it was very funny. He is not getting that ring back. There is no way he's getting that ring back. So shout out to him. But very interesting.
How did he lose his ring?
Party. It's probably his wedding ring.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what it was. I don't know if he's actually married, but it's not.
I was going to say, how could he already have a ring? Don't they do a ring ceremony? What are they just trying to get that shit out of the way?
No, I'm assuming it's like a wedding ring, but yeah. So that sucks for him though. He's not getting that shit back. All right, let's move on here. I'm on the under in this game. Let's move to Seattle, Miami. Kyle Tyler, the most created player sounding name of the year here. Literally could be computer animated person. Who knows? But I can say a 1996 birthday. And of course, he went to Oklahoma. So that makes a whole lot of sense why I already don't like the guy. So he's been up in the league already this year. Pitched 2 innings, 1 earned run against the Nationals. So whoop-de-doo. But he's been pitching well in minor league. 7 innings shut, 6 innings shut, 6 innings shut were his last 3 performances. So yeah, it seems like he's ready to go in the majors. Interestingly enough, 35 Ks, 18 walks this year. So I mean, he's doing the fucking thing. Do I want to trust him and back him here? No. Mikey, as you know, I don't trust anyone that goes to the school of Oklahoma. And I obviously don't trust the shortstop from Philadelphia. So those are just my general rules of life. You guys know.
Who is it? What's the guy in Philly?
The shortstop for Philadelphia. His name just slips my mind. If someone could let us know what his name is, that guy. He apparently had a nice play early in the game. Who knows? But yeah, I'm not gonna bet this game. The Marlins are not a good baseball team, and I think Bryce Miller could just eat them up with fastballs. So, yeah, I have no action. Oh, thank you, Craig Wood. He dropped it in the chat there. Thanks.
There we go. I'm not excited about this game, Jose. I don't want any action on this game. There's probably not much need to talk about it. I'm not excited. Seattle already did their thing. I'm not a big Miller fan either. I do believe he's due for some regression. The 7.5s, I don't like to play on those totals. If it had gone from 8.5 to 7.5, you know where I'd be. Seattle just put the boots to ass yesterday, Jose. 9-0 out there. 9-0 out there. Despite a 3-2 win to start the series off. Miami usually loses the first games of the series. I just don't want to get involved with this one. I'm just not interested. Pass.
Agreed there. Let's keep it rolling. Toronto, Cleveland. Next on our slate here. I saw Kelly McGinnis telling Justin a little home run prop for Jose Ramirez today against Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi has been pitching pretty I don't want to say decently because they've lost like 8 or 9 straight of his starts now. But it's not like pitching terribly, and it's just been shit for the results, I guess. And it's been kind of funny to watch because I obviously am a big Yusei Kikuchi guy. I guess he's probably going to get traded this year. Who knows who wants him or whatever. But like I said, he's been fine. Like 4 innings, 5 earned runs. Last time out against the Red Sox, not good. But before that, 5 shutout innings, 6 innings, 1 earned run against Baltimore. He got crushed for 2-3 starts in a row. I don't know. I find him hard to time up as well. Excuse me. And Tristan McKenzie, I mean, this year has been a mystery to me because if you've watched this show for more than 5 minutes, you guys will know that I go back and forth with McKenzie and his elbows hanging on by a thread. He's kind of in a rut right now if you look at his last few starts. But whenever I fade him, it just seems to be that he pitches well. So I'm a little skittish on this game. I obviously lean Guardians here, but this feels like just a super low price for the Guardians that it seems very, I don't know, trappy, I guess. 75% of the bets, 81% of the money on the Guardians, kind of unsurprising to me there. And 93% of the bets, 90% of the money on the over. This money line opened up at minus 111, has not really moved at all. Minus 110 now at Bet Online. So yeah, this definitely feels like a trap here for the Guardians. Just making it nice and a nice price for you to bet them here. Total has not moved either. Minus 110 for the 8.5 over and under there. So, Mikey, is this a trap indeed?
Kind of feels like it, doesn't it? Especially after what happened yesterday. But I guess I feel like Tristan McKenzie's been, I don't want to say pitching over his expectation, but he's been pitching better than he should be, I guess is what it comes down to. And maybe that's just an arbitrary assessment by yours truly here. But, again, another situation, and a lot of this across the board today where there's just not a lot of hitting success when it comes to pitchers and the hitting lineups that are confirmed and even projected at this point. And Toronto does give me that little bit of concern. I kind of thought at first pass, this one's got the making of sailing over this 8.5, especially if you can still get the 8.5, because I do see some 9s that are kind of poking out there in the market. But, for me, this one just came down to kind of isolating the spot I want to get involved with. Yesterday was so easy knowing that minus 120 to plus 1. I'm not bragging. Just listen to this high level of these numbers. You fade a scumbag when he's between minus 120 and plus 120 and he doesn't win. You take that first 5. Then you look at who's one of the best bullpens, if not the best bullpens in baseball. It's the Guardians. So you got to take advantage of fading that first 5 shitbag pitcher and then taking advantage of that best bullpen. It was Cleveland. And they bludgeoned him, right? They gave him the proverbial baby seal treatment. But I think today there is a little bounce back here. I think the thing that we've got going on when you look at this is McKenzie kind of struggling with some of his control metrics. Then we look on the other side of things, and you mentioned Kikuchi's been playing well. He's got an arsenal of pitches. I don't like the fact that Cleveland can get to some lefties, but in recent form, they have been struggling out there against it. To me, I just think this is an opportunity to catch a Toronto first 5 spot at a really good price right now. I mean, you're looking at this thing. It's starting to move as well, but there's still a minus 117. So you got almost 20 cents of movement on this first 5 spot for Kikuchi, says the books. And the sharp bettors see it the same way. I'm jumping in on the first 5. I got Toronto first 5 minus 117.
Wow. Yeah, the price for the first 5 minus 120 for Toronto first 5, and it's flipped full game. Okay, Mikey, I'll join you.
Doesn't that kind of say that's exactly it? Like Toronto can start out there. Maybe it's a grind. Maybe it's 3-2 or. But then all of a sudden, we see this number when you look at the full game for Cleveland being such a large favorite in that spot. It almost says Toronto first 5, Cleveland full game. I wonder what that price is at. Let me take a peek while we're here. But
yeah, and the line is moving towards Cleveland full game as well there. So it's very interesting.
That's a plus 800 on DraftKings if you take Toronto the first 5 and Cleveland the full game. Not saying that you should go out there and dump the truck on it, but I may have a sprinkle involved in that opportunity.
Yeah, there's non-correlated parlays. Get them up. All right, let's go to Baltimore, Houston here. And this felt like another one of those trappy games, Mike. Minus 117 for the Astros. Framber Valdez on the bump. Super low. But more importantly, Mikey, I don't know if you've got him cooking right now, but stacks are falling on the show right now. Stacks.
Look at this guy. Is that another new graphic? You just slide a new graphic. You drop it out. You did us like that? You just slid that thing away?
It's been there. That's like 3 days old now.
Oh my gosh,
old.
It's the first time I've seen it. I like the black and yellow. Got the Pittsburgh outline going. Look at you, you clever son of a bitch.
It's almost like those are Pub Sports Radio's colors too.
Oh man! Look at that little double.
Yeah, I know. It's almost, we think about these things. But Justin McKelvey over 1.5 bases for Ryan Mountcastle plus 106. Shout to you, Justin. I think the Orioles are live in this game, Mikey. I think this is another trap. And I've told myself I want to keep my volume low here today, and here I am.
Here we are.
Betting all these fucking games, and it's so fucking annoying sometimes, but it makes me so annoyed. But I like the Orioles here. Albert Suarez has been generally fine. You could do much worse of a pitcher for what they found him as. He just came from Korea, was in Venezuela pitching, and he's turned out to be a very solid pitcher for them. His last time out was, I guess, his worst outing this year. 3 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, 3 Ks against Los Yankees. A tough opponent. I think he can bounce back here for sure. Now, the question is obviously Framber Valdez. What are we going to get from him and how the Orioles do against lefties? So I'll answer the first question there. Orioles against lefties this month specifically. Orioles against lefties are, where are you? Search 20th, 22nd actually. 86 weighted runs created plus. Full season. Let me update this real quick. Full season, they're still good. 4th best, 121 weighted runs created plus here, Mikey. I have a feeling, Mikey, that this line is indicating that good old Albert Suarez pitches well and Framber Valdez has a bad start here. I just do not think that I think this line should be like minus 130 to minus 140, maybe 50 for the Astros here. And I get it. The Astros aren't as good as they once were. Maybe I'm overcrediting them a little bit, but Framber Valdez is still considered a very, very good pitcher in this league. And I think that they should get more respect from this, honestly. So let's talk about the money line markets because I haven't mentioned that yet. I'm very interested to see where all the money is. 76% of the bets on the Astros, but only 17% of the money on them. 24% of the bets on the Orioles here, 83% of the money, and that's with 11,000 tickets in. That is I guess it looks like the third highest bet game of the day so far. So that's very interesting. Totals wise, 88% of the bets, 81% of the money on the over in this game. This line opened up at minus 127, and we're starting to see minus 140s at Bet Online. So I guess it's starting to move. Minus 150 at other places. Wow. Oh no, look, I'm on first fives. That's a good sign.
Oh.
All right, hold on. No, yeah, full game. It's gone down. Thank God I noticed that because I was going to be really sad there. But first five is ridiculous, which I guess makes sense. Full game opened up at minus 130 for the Houston Astros and it is now down to minus 113. That is interesting. Mikey Money, what do you have to say about this game?
Tricky spot here for sure. And, shout out to my boy Joe T. Dropped a video talking all about why he believes Baltimore's the spot and Framber's due to get struck in this game. And
shout out to you, Joe T.
He made a compelling argument, and it definitely had me up and taking notice, I guess is the way I would say it. Not involved overall from a side in this game, but I do have a nice little hitting prop for us here. I did jump in on Gunnar sitting in the 4-hole Henderson for a ribeye at plus 185. So I'm going to take a little Gunnar Henderson, little Gunda.
Is that
at plus
is that the ribeye play of the day?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go.
Shout out to the ribeye.
Honorable mention, Adley Rutschman as well at plus 215. Not a bad price there either, but I'm going to go with the 4 spot there, and I'm going to take Henderson at plus 185. I think he's a good guy to get the job done today. So let's go for that. That's going to be my official on this play. I don't have anything else going on here. I would initially I wanted to get involved with Houston. Then my boy talked about Baltimore last night, and I just here we are. So I'm going to end up with an RBI prop at plus 185, and I'll feel fucking great if I just hit that and leave everything else on the table.
Orioles money line full game for me, and I didn't realize that Dabby Cab was arguing with our guy Constantino, who is just coming onto the chat for the first time. So good luck, Dabby. You do have a wrench, Dabby. You can block him if you'd like, but do whatever you'd like, Dabby. But good luck to you both in this.
Dabby's like an offensive lineman who just found out the running back was banging his girlfriend. He ain't blocking shit. He's going to keep letting him right on by.
It's funny. Well, good luck. Good luck.
Yes. I don't block people. I got you, Dabby. I told him.
Yeah, the Jet. Yeah, just call Dabby the Cab, the Jets' offensive line from last year. Just letting them all come on through, guys. Come on through. But good luck. Good luck to you both, Constantino. I like you less now, Constantino. You were at like a 5 when you first came in here. Now you're at like a 3-2, Constantino. So be careful. Be careful. Let's go to a team that I cannot get right. The San Francisco Giants. I bet on them twice. They lose both games. Embarrassing. I don't bet them yesterday. They win. I think they did at least. But no thanks. I'm done. I'm done with this Giants team. I don't want to bet them. And by the way, I think they win. I just saw them take an immediate like 3-0 lead, and I was already pissed. I was like, all right, I'm done here. I don't want to fucking look at this team anymore. I know they blew it, and the Cardinals came back and took the lead, but I thought they won. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't want any action in this game. There's 2 amazing pitchers, Webb and Sonny Gray. A 7 total was very interesting. I admittedly thought my 7 might be a little too low. Considering the over, but I guess everyone else thought the same thing, Mikey. 98% of the bets and money on the over in this game. Sidewise, 81% of the bets, 93% of the money on the Cardinals. This line actually went from Sonny Gray minus 127 at Bet Online to now minus 119. So some good old reverse line movement on the Giants, and it makes me interested in the Giants again. But I won't do it. I will not do it. And Mikey, guess what? This total went from an 8. It is now 7.5 at Bet Online, minus 114, and we are starting to see some 7s. So a full run movement down with all the money on one side. It's starting to feel like it's coming up to be my least favorite betting trend of the day, week year. What do you have to say about this one, Mikey?
I don't understand why that's your least favorite. That's the most consistent.
Yeah, it is. It's just, it takes the most, like, I have to, because obviously, as you guys know in the chat, I highly value the market. I highly value the market. I trust the market. And when you're telling me to bet against it and bet a very public side, I don't like doing it. It makes me feel like dumb. Like, I just like, oh God, I'm with the fucking public scumbags betting this. And I have to kind of remind myself that, hey, maybe they bet this at 8.5 here, and I'm betting it at 7 or whatever the fuck I'm getting. So, and it works.
You're holding CLV in a losing ticket in those cases, right? See, now what Jose's done is he's graduated to the I've betted enough times and lost. And this is what I always say about, a lot of the inexperienced cappers out there, the recreational bettors. You got to have a certain number of bets before you develop, as Jose says, that testicular fortitude to fade everything you believe because you've been burned enough. And that's exactly where Jose's at there. Has enough to say this is the spot where you want to go the other way. No other reason than I've just gotten burned enough on it that I'm going to go the other direction. For me, I agree with Jose. Enough bets made to know where this should be the play. And I can't get involved with this one, though, because yesterday the Giants come out early. The Cards come back in, around the 4th or 5th inning, and they just never look back after that.
Oh, so the Cardinals did end up winning yesterday?
Yeah, the Cardinals. I believe they did. Let me just double check.
Because I didn't see the final score, but no, this Giants team has just been fucking torturing me.
Yeah, they're
torturing me.
They lost 4 straight games. They did win 7-6 against the Cubs. They're facing the sweep. They probably get fucking swept here. I'm not interested in this game. I think these guys stink.
Yeah, I will pass as well. And if this game goes over, I will be one pissed off little boy, Mikey. I'll tell you that now. I will be pissed off. 1-0 Philly, apparently, according to Panger Life. So I don't think I put anything on this game, did I? No, I just have Schwarber home run.
No, I was just on the first 5 under 5.5 and the full game under 10.
I'd love if you guys told me that was a Kyle Schwarber home run that did it here, but it is not. It is Alec Boehm cashing his over 1.5 bases, apparently. So shout out to you, Justin.
Of course.
All right. Let's talk about one of the more interesting games on the card. Max Scherzer making his return just suddenly, too. Like, I saw no news of his rehabs, nothing, and then just poof, back. I was like, oh, okay. Nice to see you back, Max Scherzer. We saw him at last year looking vulnerable, to say the least here, Mikey. Now, was he healthy? I don't know. But here's the thing. I don't trust him. And I think I'm going to fade Max Scherzer. Maybe not start in, start out. And it's kind of like the Justin Verlander thing here. And you guys will say, you see how that fucking worked out, you fucking idiot. And he pitched pretty well. And then you guys are right. But I'm going to fade these kind of older pitchers. I don't believe they've got it anymore kind of thing. And I need Max Scherzer to show it to me. Alec Marsh is not a pitcher I love backing. I really don't. At one point in the season, he was solid. He started off like 4-0. And now it's obviously, if you look at his record, his numbers have dropped off. He gave up 7 earned runs in his last performance against the A's. And that was before coming off of a 7-inning, 1-run performance, 1-hit, performance against the Yankees shutout. So I think this is good. It could be a good bounce back territory, but like I said, he's kind of in a little bad spell. He gave up 5 runs, 4 runs, then that shutout, and then the 7 earned runs we saw last time against Oakland. So maybe I'll be safer taking an over in this game. 85% of the bets, 83% of the money on the over, which I don't love. And for the sidewise here, everyone obviously on the Rangers. Wow, let me see where this line opened up at. This opened up, yeah, okay, because Action Network had this at a minus 122 at one point. This is actually opened up at minus 150. It is now down to minus 143 with 80+% of the bets and money on the Rangers there. I think the Royals are live to win this game, and I think I am going to move on them. I just need to figure out how, I guess. Maybe a team total, maybe a full game money line or what. I have to check the bullpens as well. But, Mikey, I want to hear your opinion, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions on this game.
Yeah, it took me a lot of work to find out where Action got their opening number, and it seems like they pull the early look-ahead lines from DraftKings. That seems to be the predominant spot there.
I never believe in their lines. I always just throw their shit out too, honestly.
But it's important because when you see the minus 150 and then see that moves back, what the books did is they saw this thing open up at, what'd you say, minus 120 or whatever the number was, and they saw the action coming in on it, right? No pun intended with the action on the action. And so they opened their line at minus 150. These books have now handicapped that minus 120 and said there's a lot of action coming in. Let's start the line. The rest of the books say let's start the line at minus 150. Well, that number was too high. So now it's coming back. And you would see this now based on line movement analysis, and you would say, well, the line's moving against that minus 150. It's not, in fact, because the assholes that opened the book up after the first number hit the street overanalyzed it, overhandicapped it, and so you're getting a false read based on that movement back to 148 is kind of the way that I see that. So the initial assessment being that the line opened up at minus 120, now sitting at minus 150 or 145, tells you that the Texas Rangers should be the play in this spot. I can't get involved in this game, though. I just think this is an opportunity for me to just sit back and idly watch what Max Scherzer does so I can start building some data and ammunition. I don't want to be involved in the Alec Marsh business. I'm not looking to trade on his stock whatsoever. The Seager, Simeons, Perez. I mean, there's a lot of guys that should hit. Will they hit? This probably has an under written all over it. What's the first 5 under now that I say that out loud? Let me just take a peek here.
It is going down. I bet online now has an 8 for this total. And all the money on the over here. The Royals team over 3.5 is very interesting here.
I can't bet on this game. I can't bet on what Scherzer's. I didn't even know. Like you said, I heard yesterday he was coming back. 2 days ago, I didn't hear shit about it. Did he even have a rehab assignment? I don't know. I'm not buying it. What do we see what Garrett Cole did? I'm off this game. Fuck it. I want to take that. I want to take that first 500. That's what I want to do. Yeah, Top Crocodile says Garrett Cole lost his first start back as well. I mean, Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer are some of the best names in the business, but I can't do it. I wouldn't put my money on it. I wouldn't advise you put your money on it. I wouldn't even lean to it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to listen to you and Mally Mal. Mally Mal says Texas is free money today.
Woo! Free money alert. That's what we need is a little buzzer.
You know what? I'll stay off. I will stay off. And when Max Scherzer gets his tits ripped and the Royals score 4 runs in 3 innings, you'll have a text message from me waiting in your phone, Mikey Money. And Mally Mal, I expect you to be on Medicate Monday morning, so I can give you shit if that happens. And if not, I will praise you, Mally Mal, and you will hear nothing from me, Mike Money. So that's how that goes. So I like Royals.
Great info from this chat here. Lee Davis says Scherzer's start yesterday got pushed back because he was having grip issues. And then we see that Craig Wood says he had a rehab Round Rock
Jaunt
versus OKC AAA. So Cole had a rehab assignment in good old Rochester. It was the biggest attended game in minor league Rochester Red Wings history.
Yeah. Though they had the line starting at the stadium and went to your house, right, Mikey?
That's right.
Yeah.
But I'm not involved. I don't want to fuck around with this one. I don't want to find out. I'll see what happens.
Shout out to Chester. How far are you from Philadelphia or from Pittsburgh? Excuse me, by the way.
Probably like 4 hours. 4.5 hours, give or take.
Interesting. I'll say this publicly because I'm trying to go to a Liverpool match this year, and there's only 3 in the States. And one of them that might work out with Helga's schedule is going to Pittsburgh at the end of July. So I might be
Oh,
doing that.
keep
Maybe
me
doing
posted.
that.
It's 4. It's not like it's 40. It's 4.5. It's pretty much dialed in. I'll tell you, we're looking at doing something for week number 1 of the Bills games there, the Bills season opener. It's going to be beautiful. It's always nice this time of year. And Pittsburgh's only probably Justin, an hour and a half, 2 hours to Buffalo, 2 hours to Buffalo. The Great Lakes crew, the Canadian guys, everybody should be looking to get together for that thing. So we'll talk more about that, but it'll be nice weather that time of year. You said Liverpool's at the end of July. Man, it's going to be hot, steamy out there, Jose. Steamy.
You think it's July 26th, I believe. Well, again, Mikey, I'm from Venezuela. That's nothing to me. That means nothing to me. July 26th, yeah, in Pittsburgh. So I will let you guys know. Oldie, I will be going to Anfield as well. Don't you worry about that. I'm not flush with cash, Old E. But I'm gonna hopefully go to one of those games. Justin, you're more than welcome to come. Mikey, we want you to be there as well. Just don't judge me when I'm just in a fucking puddle of tears before the game, just crying my eyes out, singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." I'll just be in a puddle of tears, just sobbing, just like openly weeping, and I just need no judgments. Don't look at me. We'll pretend like it didn't happen,
Look
and
at
we'll
me.
move on. Yeah, it'll be like that. Don't look at me. Nationals Rockies here. Great game yesterday. Thank God I didn't bet it. I was considering betting the under with 2 pitchers I liked. I didn't. And we have another debutante, not really debutante, but more of a return in Kyle Freeland, who was hurt for a long ass time against my guy Jake Irvin. But I can't back my guys in Colorado. It's just not a pitcher's park, as we all know. I don't really want anything to do with this game. I stayed off. I'll quickly give you guys the markets. 84% of the bets, 89% of the money on the over in this game. And funny enough, this has dropped down. It was 11 juice to the over. Now it is a 10.5 juice to the over still, but coming down. I lean under as well with these guys, but we'll see. It's kind of funny that I think that Kyle Freeland could have a better start coming back than Max Scherzer. But I do kind of feel that way. I just don't really want to bet on it. I don't want to put my money where my mouth is in this scenario. 3 rehabs for Kyle Freeland, 2 innings in the complex league, 4 innings in AAA, 3 hits, 1 earned run, another 4 innings in AAA, 4 hits, 2 earned runs there. Sorry, 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 Ks. You guys know that I'm big on the strikeouts to walks in this rehab. So that was his last one. I'll be interested to see how he does here. I lean under, obviously, but no action for here. Mikey, what do you think?
You know what? I think this is a really nice under spot. Real sneaky under look there. I think that's very sharp of you, Jose. As far as these numbers are concerned, a couple of these spots. Let me see if I can pull this back up here. I just lost it. Unders greater than 8.5 in day games across Major League Baseball have historically gone to that under. Same league after a loss, unders right now on a 7-3 run, 52-22 as well. So suggesting the bounce back spot here for the Nationals. And that's where I want to get my money here. This is just a don't think about it. Kyle Freeland coming back spot here, and the Nationals at a really good price. I see a minus 125 at Caesars, so that's going to be the number I lock in. And I also am pretty top heavy with 1 o'clock, so I do need some afternoon action in there. I'm going to fade away on Freeland, and I'm going to take the Irvin spot, but just a full game. I'm just going to have one played Nats full game. I do like McMahon's RBI, but he's crossed down to almost 135 right now, and there's just not enough. That says he should be getting the job done. There's just not enough return on that. I'm going to just lean to that or play this national side minus 125. I was going to say I lean to that side versus the RBI side of things, just because I think there's more the odds and probability versus the amount that the investment is certainly makes more sense to me to take the Nationals.
I lean under with you guys, but I will stay off. And yeah, I think Kyle Freeland to start will be okay, and then he'll tail off to being shit again. So no action here for me. Minnesota, Oakland. Mikey, may I interest you in a little Minnesota, Oakland? Hogan Harris, Pablo Lopez. I'm actively rooting against the Twins and the Royals, so I hope the A's come through here. And I was kind of actually semi-interested in them, if I'm going to be honest. Hogan Harris coming off a really good start, but the Twins smash lefties. 160 weighted runs created plus this month. Full season, 123. So it's not the day to back Hogan Harris. So I stayed off this game. Super juice for a reason. Total 92% of the bets and money on the over. This total has gone from 8 minus 120 at Bet Online to 8 minus 114. And our friends at the money line here, let's see. The money line is 89% of the bets and 94% of the money on the Twins. Minus 169 opener, only up to minus 170 at Bet Online. So not much movement. Maybe the A's are alive, but I don't want to take them here. I'd lean over, if anything, but no action. What do you think, Mike?
It's so funny to me to see the I don't know what the right term is that I want to get involved with here, but the market overreaction. I guess the hype train. When things start popping, everybody wants to get in the game, and you got to be an innovator in this thing, because by the time everybody else has found it, it's just going to be too late. We're almost at that spot with Royce Lewis. I talked about this guy 2 days before his return, right up to the first game he came back out there. Now everybody's recognizing that this guy's a fucking phenom. And I mentioned it before he even came out and started swinging the bat again. I said, if it wasn't for these injuries, this guy would be an all-star. And at plus 150, I'm involved with his RBI today. I think it's a great opportunity. If you look at the X's and O's on the lineup here and where these guys kind of fall in the batting order, he's sitting down there. Where'd it go? Where did it go? He's sitting in the 3 spot, but Jesus, look what's around him. Margot's got a 667 against Hogan Harris. Carlos Correa's got a 500. And then even Ryan Jeffers after that's got a 500. So this is a Royce Lewis spot. Absolutely. He's got no at-bats against Hogan Harris. But what we've seen is it don't matter who he faces. He goes out there and gets the job done. So I like me some Hogan Harris in this opportunity. I'm sorry, some Royce Lewis at plus 150 in this opportunity. Let's go through the rest of the card and see if I get in there and get cute and add myself an Oakland spot. Fading the Twins in game 3 has been incredibly profitable. Again, 7 of its last 10. Come to you guys, not with these 1 and 2s, but things that have a good amount of meat on the bone. 33 and 13 if you fade these Twins in game number 3 of a series.
Could I ask you to look something up for me, Mikey?
You can. I don't know that I'll be able to do it on the fly while we're talking here, but I can look it up for you.
It's about the Red Sox. I think their record on Sundays is astounding. I think they've only lost 1 game on a Sunday this year.
Yeah, you know what? That is correct. And that was the game that talk about where the public gets into it, right? Everybody was talking. I think they were like 12-0 looking for win number 13 on a Sunday. And everybody was talking about it. They took the L, but they bounced back since then. So once everybody hammers it and they lose, they kind of move on. And now it's an opportunity. There you go. Rushia says 11-1, but yeah. Oh, maybe Kelly V says 11-1 versus Oakland too.
God, the Red Sox were interesting today for me, but I stay off.
I'm tempted to circle back to him. I do want to circle back to him, Jose. The more we talk about it, I might get involved with Oakland and the Red Sox. We'll see. We'll see how the card ends up for me.
I'm just gonna be so fucking pissed if I bet on them against a lefty and lose again after the whole year I've been saying they fucking suck against lefties. But we'll see. We'll see. Padres, Brewers. I lost on Brewers last night. I didn't even watch a second of that game last night. I just knocked out and I didn't watch. And I woke up and I just saw them lose. And I was like, oh, great, sick. I need to update my record from last night as well. I got murdered, so I need to do all that record keeping. But Tobias Myers versus Michael King is not a pitching matchup that really gets the blood flow going here, Mikey, if I'm going to be honest with you. Tobias Myers has been solid this year for what the expectations were, and Michael King on the same way. He's just been peaks, valleys, ups, downs, and super hard to time as well. So I stay off. And I'll give you guys the market again here because I know you guys enjoy it. Only 19% of the bets on the Brewers here, Mikey, but 50% of the money on the Brewers. So very interesting. And for the total, 87% of the bets, 84% of the money on the over. And this has gone down, was a 8 minus 117 juice, slightly. But now it is a 8 minus 120 to the under. and we're starting to see some 7.5s pop up here as well. I don't trust either of these ball clubs. I don't really like betting on either one, so I stay off. Hello, Troy Torrance. Nice to see you in the chat here as well. What do you think here, Mikey?
Well, what would be an appearance without an opportunity to talk about your grandma wearing your sister's panties again? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those don't look like sister panties. Those look like granny panties. I swear that's my buddy's mom to a fucking T. I said it the other day.
We got her to pose for us, Mikey.
She used to smash. Let me tell you, smash. She liked we had the high school parties, and but Wes goes way back, obviously, and we get done playing hockey or whatever. The bus would drop us off, and my buddy lived right next to the high school, so we'd go over to his house and hang out and have a couple post-game beers. And when my one buddy's brother was in college, he would come by and he would smash the fucking bottom out of it. But anyways, I digress, Jose.
Probably would too.
Yeah, she was quite the looker. That being said, though, Jose, grandma wearing that tiny little piece of string like dental floss, it's working that bottom. And I'm going to go with this Milwaukee Brewers in the under 8. It's plus 276 in this opportunity. Great idea, the central battle here. I don't believe the Brewers go out there and get the boots pounded on them here. I don't think they're going to get swept. Fuck this Padres team. Every game has gone over in this Padres series. I said last week and a half ago, these Padres are frauds. Their team totals, their run lines, and the Brewers, who I thought were dominant, somehow have been rolling the fuck over here. 7-6 loss, 9-5 loss, 6-4 loss. I got to jump in here. This is going to be a little fun for the afternoon session. I told you I didn't have a lot of action in the afternoon. Expect to be up early, ride that wave into some nice picked spots for the 4 o'clock window, and then cruise control into the 7 o'clock spot. So I am on the Brewers and the under, but I got it at 8. I same game parlayed it up to 8 because if you just do the standard same game parlay that's out there, they're going to give you 7.5. So I bought that back up to 8 to kind of reverse that movement. So 276, Jose, Milwaukee in the under. Hey, you want to get Milwaukee a plus 110? Go get it. I like that spot too, but I think Michael King shoves. I think Tobias Myers does enough to get the job done with that 4-2. It shows that at least he does his job early and the team can figure out a way to find it to the finish line. So 276, Jose. Brewers in the under 8.
All right, beautiful. No action for me here. Shout out to Troy. Just got done hooping, by the way, Mikey. Competitive ass league. Let's just say this.
That tells me Troy wasn't up late enough last night because I texted you about 15 minutes before the show started.
Yeah, it's like, what time does the show start? What am I doing?
Well, good thing I looked at this all night.
That was funny. But no, Troy, shout to you. I can obviously dominate Troy on the football field, but where I can definitely not dominate Troy is on the basketball field or court, I should say. I suck dick at basketball, but I'm good enough to 3-0 skunk Dabby in horse. So shout out to me right there. All right. Let's pay our respect to all of our plays of the day here before we get to the last game of the card. Ryan Mountcastle, Stacks play of the day. Troy asked if he was still in the streak. Unfortunately, like you saw, Devers sold, but we're still fucking stacking here today. Stacks. Shout out to you, Justin. We also had a first 5 overlook from Dabby Cab in this game, over 4 he likes in this game. I can't find the comment, but he is on it, I believe. Shout out to you, Dabra Cadabra. He texted me, by the way, and said, I don't even bet Rangers first 5. I got a good chuckle out of that as well.
Oh, shit.
Shout out to you, Dabby.
He likes the Seager spot. He likes the Seager for the
yeah.
Oh shit, I see him slide some Texas Rangers in there. He's probably on the Rangers though, so he doesn't want to talk about that one.
Yeah, I got a good laugh out of him saying that. But yeah, shout out to you. And then Mikey Money, you had a couple ribeyes today. Couple ribeyes today.
Hell yeah. We got ourselves Gundog in play. We got ourselves Royce Lewis in play as well. Gonna be some fun. What about we got one graphic for the most recent one. What do we got?
What are you talking about? Which most recent one here?
Grandma.
Your Grammy?
Yeah, let's get my buddy's mom
my buddy's mom's grandma's play of the day, who we all smashed in high school. Play of the day. The Brewers in the under, I believe.
I didn't say I smashed her. I just said she liked to smash.
Sure, Mikey, sure.
Now, his sister was a different story, but of course, we got the Brewers in the under 8 at plus 276. Jose, I've had some time to consider some of these other opportunities that we talked about. So let's talk about this last game, and I want to circle back because there's something I want to add to the card as well.
All right, beautiful. Let's talk about this last game on our board, and thank God we've got Troy Torrance here to talk about his Cub here. Now, obviously, you guys know me. Luis Severino is one of my guys. I took it in the chin with the Mets yesterday. And admittedly, Mikey, I want to go right back to the well. I just don't know what to make of this Cubs team is my issue. I never know what to make of them because their offense is just bleh. Their starting pitching is good. And their bullpens suck. And I want to bet full game money lines against them, like Troy saying Cubs first 5 every day to the All-Star break. I would like to bet against them full game because of that reason. I know Troy knows that bullpen is ass, but damn, I don't know here. I want to just pass the ball off to you here, Mikey Money. What do you think?
This is a tricky game. Cubs and Mets, we saw what happened yesterday with these Mets. They just looked lifeless. I don't want to overreact to a single game, but I believe teams have their opportunity to make some moves, and they did just that. When it comes down to it, I think, they had their little one streak there. They were winning. Both these pitchers, X's and O's on the table. I just think there's too much value now to take or to push off on this Cubs team. They're at home to start the season. The Cubs had one of the best offenses in baseball on their home field. And they actually were high. I guess you look at the season, you look at the Braves, you look at the Astros, some of these teams that were expected, and they're not quite there, but now minus 112 for the full game for this Cubs team. I think that's where I'm going to get involved with here. I'm definitely going to have action on this late game. I'll probably get involved with some player props as well. Assad at 275, though. I'm going to make an official play early here because I expect this number to move. Minus 112. We're seeing 113s and 115s out there as well. I think the Mets are due for that. Things happen in the pendulum swing. They go from 3 wins to 3 losses to 3 wins to 3 losses. And I'm going to go with the Cubs. I like the Cubs. I got a Cubs at minus 112. Just a simple little cheesy late night action bet that I'm getting involved with, and we'll see what other props I can muster up along the way. I'll probably have a same game parlay for this one as well. Off the hop, I like to look at Wisdom as an opportunity. There's a guy that's kind of up and down. Michael Busch has been previously successful. Suzuki's a guy that I want to get involved with as well. I'm not sure about the Mets side of things yet. I haven't looked too far into that, but Francisco Lindor is obviously a guy that can make some noise as well. So yeah, Kelly V, shout out to Kelly V, says Suzuki been good hitting the ball. Rant says Severino kind of average. That's kind of exactly what I'm thinking, you guys. Troy Torrance in the house says if I had to take a hit prop today, it would be Morel. And Kelly V says
he can't fucking field. We know that.
Yeah, he's got to be able to do something to earn that contract out there. But I'm going to close the card out with the Chicago Cubs, minus 112.
Okay, I'll join you first 5. I'll join you and Troy Torrance specifically on first 5 here. Let's ride the Cubs here. Try the Cubs. All right. Mikey, let's review our action here.
Mm-hmm.
We have an interesting day of baseball coming up. I have a lot of work to do. I have to update my records and shit, so we'll get all that done hopefully today. But let's get after it. I'll start us off here. I have Kyle Schwarber home run in play right now. Kyle, come on. You son of a bitch. Someone let me know in the chat how he's done in his first 2 at-bats. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Atlanta Braves, New York Yankees, first 5 under 4.5, -110. White Sox, Detroit, doubled up, unders 4.5, first 5, 8.5, full game. Red Sox, Reds, under 8.5, or sorry, excuse me, under 9.5, -118. I'm going to fucking do it, Mikey. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to bet the Red Sox full game money line as well.
I think it's a great price. Jose, I'll say you finish up and then I'll talk. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You got me excited about something now.
I'm gonna bet them +142. Toronto first 5 money line -120. Baltimore money line +103, and Chicago Cubs first 5 money line -110. Officially on my card. That is my card. Mikey, go ahead.
I said this before. I'll say it again. Baseball is a volume sport. It's a contact sport, and you're not going to profit through the dog days of the summer if you're just picking one spot and hoping to go big. Now, you can be successful with it, but the best of the best hit at 60%. That means 6 out of 10 games you're going to win. The other 4 you're going to lose. If you're only playing 1 a day, that's 10 spots. You just missed about 300 games in that sample because you're playing 1 game a day. And if you're hitting at 60%, this is the best time of year to be able to play some of those opportunities. Not to mention, you're looking at a team live, like you got me excited when you said looking at the Red Sox at +140. You know what? If they go 1 and 2 over a sample size, you're not even down a full unit in that opportunity. But if you go 2 and 1, you're almost up 2 units in that spot. It's just simple. This is the best time of year to leverage mathematics and analytics. Now, if you're a $5,000 unit better and you're going, I'm not going to play 10 games at $5,000. I don't want to have 50K out there. Then back your bets down. Because if you go $5,000, you go 6 and 4, you're not even up 10,000. You're not even up 2 units. But if you go, $1,000 and you go 6 and 4, 5 days over the course of that week, you're in a great and tremendous spot to be able to get some cash and make some money with these dogs. That's how you got to approach baseball. If you're a $100 better, if you're a $50 better, don't be afraid to back it down a little so that you can add more opportunities like the White Sox, like the Red Sox, even the Oakland A's, and take some shots because even the worst teams still win like 60 games a season, 70 games a season, and the best teams still lose 60 or 70 games a season. So don't get all fucking high and mighty talking about, I only want 1 play. You're missing the way this game works. You haven't bet enough if that's what you're thinking out there. Nobody hits it 100%, and neither will you. That being said, though, I enjoyed it today, Jose. It was a lot of fun. I'm excited about what's coming up. I love the new graphics. I love what you've been doing with the place. And we're already in play with some of the action I've got out here today. We've got the first 5 under 5.5, the first full game under 10. Now, that's my early morning action, right? This game got broken into 3 slates, so you can think about managing your bankroll across 3 slates. If you got $1,000 to bet, maybe you break it off and you have 300 in the first game, first slate, 300 in the second game, and 400 in the third slate to get to that $1,000, and then distribute your units appropriately across the board. You got to do a little math. You can't be lazy and just look for 1 play. That being said, no disrespect to anybody that does want to make that 1 play, but you even see the best of the best are out there still adding 3 or 4 plays on a day because there's too much money. That being said, I'm on the Yankees -110. I got Pittsburgh first 5 -0.5 at -120. My triple up for the afternoon slate, the White Sox first 5 +145, the full game +166, and the game under 8.5. I like that first 5 under 4.5 as well, but I'm not going more than 3 units on that White Sox spot. I've just been there before. Toronto first 5, I got them -117. The Nationals -125. I got the Brewers and the under 8 at +275, and I got the Cubs -112. RBI spots, I did jump in with a +150 on our guy down there in Minnesota, Rice Lewis, bomber, young up and comer. I also got some Gundog Henderson. He was a nice +185. So there's 2 ribbies for you guys as well. I think it's a great card today to make some money. It's Sunday. Just, manage the bankrolls appropriately. You're going to lose, but you're going to win, and you don't want to leave winners on the table. You want to make sure you find a way to find out how many games you need to play to be profitable, figure out how you want to attack the slate, break it into the 3s, distribute your cash accordingly, and be expecting to, take some ups and take some downs. But over the course of the long haul, if you do it smart, you listen to Jose, you listen to the Pub Sports crew, you're going to win a hell of a lot more than you're going to lose. It was a lot of fun. Jose, I'm jacked up. I got excited to see the new graphics. I saw the stats graphics. Shout out to our guy, Justin McKelvey. I told him the other day, shout out, man. At 50, when he was sitting around 22 and 28, I thought, man, yeah, we'll see how long this guy keeps rolling. And here he is, 400 plus plays deep. Nice, big, long winning streak. That's what I'm talking about, putting the work in. He deserves everything that he's done with that streak that he's been on. And I love to see the graphic as well.
Yeah, shout out to you, Justin. It took a long time to get there. I'm glad we Jimmy and I finally have settled on something, so it was nice. But yeah, shout out to you guys in the chat. We appreciate all you guys in here as always. Support us on YouTube in any way you can. Support our guy Mikey Money at Sports Money on YouTube. He obviously doing his thing over there as well, live streams, all that good such. And Mikey, I know you're excited for tomorrow night, Game 7. You've got your hammer out. You pulled it out. You hit the ground. You went, ha! Just slamming it down. And you struck oil for 3 straight games, Mikey. But is Game 7 going to be where old s'il vous plaît, bonjour, Mr. French guy comes in and tries to steal your land for half price, Mikey? Try to purchase your land for a quarter of its value, trying to fuck you, Mikey, out of your land? What's going to happen in Game 7? Are the Oilers, your Oilers, going to come back and complete one of the greatest comebacks in NHL history?
Man, for 2 days I've been getting jacked up thinking about this game, and I probably made the most. Despite, first of all, they're not my Oilers. They're not. And for what it's worth, as a pure, full-blooded American male, I don't want Canada to win anything. That rivalry, it don't matter if we're playing fucking ping pong, shuffleboard, fucking curling on the ice. I don't care. America's just made everything better. That being said, we got a situation here. Everybody, you guys, listen, I get it. You love the Panthers. You love the Cats. They're American team. They're in Florida. The Cup's been in Florida. The Stanley Cup's been running through Florida every single stop. That's the ability for the NHL to draw in the Southern fans. By the way, where do New Yorkers go when they're getting ready to die? They go to Florida. They retire and they move on down to Florida, and they bring that hockey spirit with them. But the bottom line is this, you guys. Stop fooling around. Stop letting your eyes play tricks on you. It almost gets me angry, Jose, when I hear these Florida situations, because you're wrong. They're not as deep. Their goaltender's not as good. They don't score as many points. Their penalty kill is nowhere near as effective. Their expected high-scoring probability chances, a.k.a. the ability for guys to thread the needle, a.k.a. Connor McJesus, way better than what you see out there. This isn't just arbitrary. This isn't just my eyes or my heart wants the Florida Panthers, or I said it in December, so I was the first one to say it, or I got a ticket, so Florida's got to win. No, stop it. Look at the numbers. Look at the metrics. Stop fooling yourself. It's data. I just talked about data across Major League Baseball. It's no different in every other sport. You got to analyze the metrics. The metrics tell you Florida's lucky to be in the position that they are. And I know you might say, well, look, they started off 3-0. Exactly. They had 2 home games. They had 5 games in a row where the ref did nothing but give them wins all season long. And they gave the Edmonton Oilers losses. And now here we are. How did we get here? What happened? Stop it. Stop letting your eyes play tricks on you. I can't wait for this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll give you guys all the metrics and analytics that break it down. But the biggest thing, and this is where I'm surprised, your father, as how he likes to approach the game from the psychological impact. They got Dr. Headcase dealing with our guy, Stuart Skinner. And what's he done since then? Games 4 through 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. He's 10-0. I believe he's down to a sub-1 goals against average. and he's saving at almost a 95% rate in elimination games, in closeout games, in games that matter. Stop fooling yourselves. Can't wait for that. It's going to be exciting, Jose. Thanks for asking me.
No problem. Ricky Bobby, let's end off with this. Ricky Bobby sent me something, and Ricky Bobby likes sending me certain things. And he asked me to show you this, Mikey. Sure, the last one we got was maybe your friend's mom. Does this work better? Is that more grandma wearing your sister's panties-esque?
It's better. It's better. We're getting there.
But
to truly capture what we need here, I believe we need to have grandma facing the other direction with her head turned around so that you can truly capture the I don't have a sister, but I imagine
you have a brother.
I have a brother, but I imagine you that have sisters, she's got some thongs out there. When you had to grab a pair of fucking gym shorts out of the laundry that your parents had just done, there was a lacy little string, and you were probably thinking, what is this for? What do I do with this? You twirl it around your finger a little bit. You're trying to figure out how you utilize it.
Mm-hmm.
Your sister, to truly embrace that little piece of string, grandma's got to be facing the other direction with her head turned back. Maybe she's making a dragon, symbol.
A
She's
panther,
strong.
maybe?
Panther. But then you can see that little string around those pure white, almost opaque ass cheeks, because there's no sun getting on those buns unless she's in the house running around with grandpa and some Viagra. That's what I'm talking about, Jose.
Okay. Wow, that was very vivid. I'm glad that we had a good image of that before we go. Thank you all for watching. It's been a long show, but it's been a good show. So shout out to you guys. Say hey. We'll see you guys next time, I hope.